Hello, Velma Hagar here. He's looking at you, kid. Cappuccino, and it's made with Puerto Rican blend of coffee that my friend Amanda Buck sent me from Puerto Rico. And it's delicious. Thank you, Amanda. I know you'll watch this. You always watch my videos. Today we're going to talk about a subject that's very touchy. We're going to talk about Black Lives Matter. You know, I'm going to start out by telling you that the other day I saw something about Mitt Romney, and he was out with the people, the Black Lives people, and demonstrating. And I put yuck. That was all I said was yuck, Y-U-K. And someone wrote back and said, are you saying yuck because of Mitt Romney or because of Black Lives Matter? And I love this person. This person follows me on Facebook, a nice person, and I said, stop it. Just stop it. It was an indication that I had said something racist, right? They're so doggone, no, not you, stop it, Google. When I said stop it, Google wanted to hush up. You can play Google. Anyway, and I said, look, I don't believe in Black Lives Matter. I think it is using the black people, as it happens all the time. I don't want anybody coming on here and bashing me either. I'm going to tell you something. Listen to this. All lives matter. All lives. And the black people, the very thing they don't want is to be separated and treated differently. And yet, what does Black Lives Matter do? It separates them from the rest of the world. It makes them into a separate segment. Jesus died on the cross for everyone, and all lives matter. That is scriptural. All lives matter to God, including the babies they're aborting. All lives matter. Not just black lives, not just policemen's lives, because, you know, Chick-fil-A is doing that. Policemen lives matter. I don't want to exclude people. I don't want to segregate people. I want everybody to be all-inclusive. That's why I don't believe in Black Lives Matter. You know what you are doing if you're black? You're pulling yourself out from the rest of us and saying, we're over here and we're separate. No, you're not separate. We're all one people. We're all American. We're all from different countries. And I thought about the African American. Okay, it's all right to be African American. I'm Italian and Irish, so it's okay. If you want to call yourself African American, that's all right, because your heritage is probably in Africa, even though you were probably born here, as I was. My heritage is still in Italy and Ireland. So I'm okay with that. But I don't like this thing about burning the flags and kneeling. I don't like it. You're an American, for God's sakes. Let's do this together. And I want to talk about what's happening with this rioting and starting out as peaceful demonstrations and then bringing in people that are destroying the very black community that these people are representing. Good grief. Why would you, as a black person, allow that? Why would you allow yourself to be separated into a group that's called Black Lives Matter? Why would you allow that? You know, I love Candace Owens, and I know she's being ostracized by the black community right now because of what she came out and said about Floyd. Now, if you didn't hear her, now you can ostracize me too, because you know what? She has been... They have actually banned her on, I don't know which one of the medias has the social medias, but one of them did, because she told the truth about Floyd. Now look, Floyd was a criminal most of his life. And you can check this. You can go in and check this. This is the truth, okay? Why are you glamorizing someone from your race who spent most of his adult life in prison? Had he have chosen to not pass he had a $100 bill that he was passing that was not a real bill, counterfeit. If he wouldn't have done that, none of this would have happened. Now, does that make the policeman right? The policeman was a jerk. The policeman was a jerk for what he did, the way he did it. But he was doing his job. Ultimately, he was doing his job, and then he went too far with his job, and that was horrible what happened, just horrible. But don't make a hero out of Floyd. Floyd was breaking the law. You have way better people in the black community than Floyd. You should be lifting up. Not Floyd. Come on. Most of his life spent in prison. And one of the things he did, he spent 5 years for. He and another friend broke into a woman's house. She was pregnant. He held a gun to her stomach. They were threatening her, looking for drugs and money. Come on, you have better people than that to glamorize. What are you doing rioting for someone who has that kind of a record? Now, I don't know his heart. He has a good family. I heard his brother, and I loved his brother. His brother told everybody to stop it, that is not what his brother stood for, and good for him. But come on, you have better people in the black community than that. Now, let me just tell you something, and I hope you're watching this if you're of color, because I've had to unfriend this colored guy that I have loved, a good Christian man who is completely blinded because he's black. He only sees that one side. He thinks everybody, if I say yuck because Romney's out picketing or whatever he's doing with the black people, he thinks I'm a racist. No, I'm not a racist. Stop it. You have brought all of this on yourself by saying that. By accusing someone like me, I am never a racist. And I don't like it when you imply that because I said something like that about someone who was, oh, look at me, I get off into a thing. Now, let me just tell you some statistics here. Do you know that there were only 9 black men killed by policemen, 9 unarmed black men killed by policemen in 2019? There were 19 white men unarmed killed by policemen in 2019. And yet, 50% of the crimes that are committed by blacks. Take that, put your pipe and smoke it. In other words, they are not nearly as hard on them as they are on the white guys. Have you ever seen the white people go burn things down because they killed a white man? And maybe it was a black officer that killed a white man. Something's wrong with this picture. If you're going to be included, if you want to be equal, stop this nonsense. It's nonsense. 13% of the population is black. And yet 50% of the crimes that are committed are black men. What are you guys doing? Stop that. You're just as good as we are. Nobody's better than anybody else. Nobody. Nobody. And you know what? If anybody has a right to be out there rioting, it would be the Jews. 6 million of them were killed for doing nothing wrong except for their color and their nationality. 6 million of them starved to death, put in gas chambers. Do you ever see them out burning buildings or Romney marching with them? Good God. All of you need to stop it. I mean, I even heard that, what's his name, was marching, and I just love him. Joel Osteen was out there marching for Black Lives. Doesn't he realize? I love Joel Osteen, but come on. It's separating the blacks from the whites. Don't do that to yourself. It's the very thing you don't want us to do, and yet you're doing it to yourself. Stop it. All of you stop it. Racism is ugly. Jesus died for everybody. Black, white, purple, gray, every one of you. All lives matter. All lives. And if you don't like it, too bad. People get so mad when they hear that. But it's the truth. All lives matter. All of them. How'd you like that? I got mad on that. Look. I have some of my best heroes are of color. I think Ben Carson is one of the finest men I've ever seen in my cotton picking life. I love him. Harris Faulkner on Outnumbered in the Morning on 55. Oh my God, I love Harris Faulkner. Candace Owens. Oh my God, I adore Candace Owens. Alan Keyes. I mean, I could go on and on and on. And then someone would ask me if I'm a racist because I make a comment about yuck. You know, I think you're too doggone sensitive. We talk about a black person eating watermelon and corn, and they think it's a racist remark, and yet they can say to me, "Wop." They call me a wop. What are you going to have, spaghetti and and wine? Well, yeah, I'm a wop. So what? So what? Be proud of who God made you to be. And I'm sure there's racism going on somewhere, but I sure as tootin' don't see it. I don't see it anywhere in my life. And my Stacey says to me, "Well, that's because you live in California. We don't have it here." Well, maybe we don't. But I'll tell you what, I know one thing. No one is racist towards Oprah, or we elected a black president, for God's sakes, for 2 terms. How racist is that? You know what? They're using you guys to create problems. You're being used and you're falling for it. Stop it. You're equal. You're talented. You are the best dancers and singers and football players in the world. I mean, you guys can run faster than anybody. You can dance like nobody I've ever seen. And you can sing beautiful. And you're wonderful pastors. Why are you being so touchy? Just stop it. Just stop it. If you have a black friend, please send this to them. I want this to go viral. I've talked up a storm, but I just had to do it. You remember this. God loves every single person. Every one of you. He made you, and he made you the color you are. Be proud of who you are. I mean, when my grandpa used to hide because he was Italian, he used to lie about where he was born. I have my Bible where I ask him to write, I wanted all my grandparents to write their name and where they were born and their birth date in it. And he's actually writing New York, and I go, "Grandpa, this is the Bible." And he's writing in pen. And in my Bible, my family tree, in my grandpa's hand, he's crossed out the word new and he wrote Rome, Italy next to it. He was ashamed because he was Italian, for God's sakes. They persecuted him. So stop it. We all have been through it. They were so rude to the Italians in New York. They wops. You know where Dago came by? Because they would say at the end of the day, Dago, the day's gone. In other words, Dago, and they go, "Oh, the Dagos." We all get made fun of. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of who you are. Be the best person you can be. This is for Jillian. Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. Remember the little video where the grandmother or the mother is over there and Hercules is doing something and she's going, "Hercules, Hercules, Hercules." And all the kids my grandkids always tell me that I'm like that mother because I'm always rooting my kids on. And I'm going to root you on now. I don't care what color you are, doggone it. Be proud of it and stop the Black Lives Matter thing. I want to see you black people out there with a sign that says all lives matter. That's what I want to see. Wow, was that ever powerful? You didn't think I had it in me, did you? I mean, I'm 77 years old, but you better not mess with me. Okay, this coffee's delicious. Until next time, buy my book. And subscribe. See that little subscribe button? You'll learn so much from my videos. Oh my gosh, you never know what I might do. And buy my book, Hidden Treasures in Secret Places, Amazon.com. Or if you private message me, I will autograph it and send it to you. And until next time, this is Velma Hagar, bidding you a blessed day. All lives matter. Bye.